another dignitary from Rajayoga Education and Research Foundation, Brahmakumaris. Born in Pune on May 31st, 1972, she had a profound love for science and was a good student. She did her engineering in the software department at Pune University. Before the end of the college, however, she was attending their local Brahmakumaris center through her mother and got connected to the Brahmakumaris. She grew up as a renowned motivational speaker and spiritual teacher. She has also appeared on the television series Awakening with Brahmakumaris in 2007. Recorded on living values, self-management, inner powers, harmony in relationships, understanding the law of karma, healing, self-empowerment, self-discipline about Brahmakumari's organization, spirituality in general, and art of living, the series benefited people all around the world. She also travels in India and abroad, appearing in Brahmakumari events and charitable events ranging from the promotion of organ donation to parenting programs. In 2017, she was named as a Goodwill Ambassador of the World Psychiatric Association. She is none other than the well-known Brahmakumari Shivani. I would like to welcome her to take forward with her talk. Over to you, ma'am.
Om Shanti and Namaskar. There are three very beautiful words which are connected with each other. It is sanskar, sanskriti, and sansar. Our sanskars create our culture, and our culture creates our world. So when we talk about the culture of Bharat, it actually reflects our sanskars, the innate nature of every soul. And therefore, Aadigyan, the word itself means the eternal, the original, wisdom. The wisdom, which is the innate quality of the soul. Living in times where not just the elderly, but a large population of the youth and children are talking about emotional health issues and mental health issues, and have also started accepting them as normal. When we start expecting and we start accepting that all these turbulences that are going on in our mind as normal, it's time for a shift. It's a time for a shift because then we've started accepting emotional disease as normal. And that is why the sanskars and the Sanskriti of Bharat are going to play an extremely pivotal role, not just in Bharat, but for the world. Because the eternal and the original equations that were taught in Bharat, like today children grow up learning the equations of science, the equations of maths. These are fundamental equations based on which inventions, discoveries, technologies, and everything is created based on simple equations. Similarly, there are some very simple equations, but they are the equations of the inner world. Today we're well equipped with the equations of the outer world, and everything we create comes out from those equations. But there are some equations of the inner world, which are the Aadigyan of Bharat. One such equation is Sankalp se Srishti, which means our thoughts create our world. The other is Sankalp se Siddhi, which means thoughts manifest, they become a reality. The third is Sanskar se Sansar. Our sanskar, our nature creates our world. Even if we had to look at just these three simple equations, Sankalp se Srishti, Sankalp se Siddhi, and Sanskar se Sansar. Very simple, and yet most of us don't live by these equations. And because we are not living our life on the fundamental original equations of the soul, we are not living our lives based on the spiritual laws, and that is why experiences in life are different from what they're meant to be. We are seeking happiness, we are seeking love, we are seeking peace, whereas those are our Adi original sanskars. The Adi sanskars of every soul are purity, love, peace, bliss, wisdom, happiness. These are our original sanskars. So how is it that we forgot our Adi sanskars, our original sanskars? Because we forgot the original equation. So today we are living our lives saying, depending on what's happening around me, that's how I feel. So we went the other way around. Instead of My thoughts create the world. We're living by the equation, the world creates my thoughts. What will happen when we completely reverse an equation? When an equation is reversed, which means an equation is incorrect, we will not get the results that we want in life. So everybody wants happiness, everybody wants love, and yet most of us are living with stress, anxiety, fear, and we have accepted it and we are calling it normal. Today we've started calling depression normal. So really the time has come for us to revisit, revise, and start living by our original spiritual equations. And so the first one in that is Sankalp se Srishti banti hai, which means the thoughts create our world. Irrespective of what's happening around me, whatever may be the situation, whatever is the stimulus, whatever may be a person's behavior, I am the creator of my thoughts. The situation is not creating my thought. Today, if every child is taught this right from school, that the situation doesn't create my thoughts, it's my thoughts which manifest the situation. One fundamental equation can change the personality of the child, can change the destiny of the child. Because then the child will not live like a victim saying, I'm angry because of, I'm stressed because of, I'm fearful because of COVID. We're blaming situations and people for how we are feeling. So, which means we lost the mastery over the self. Swarajya, being the ruler over the self, being the master of our mind and sense organs. We lost it because we become dependent on situations, people, objects, technology for how we are feeling. So, we shift from being a master to becoming a victim. We shift from being the ruler to becoming a slave of our own addictions, of our own dependencies. So it's time to shift, and that can only happen by revisiting our original spiritual equations. So let's take a few spiritual equations today. First one is Sankalp se Srishti. So from today onwards, let's practice. Irrespective of whatever is happening around us, we are not going to blame the situation or the person for how we are feeling. We're going to take personal responsibility of my thoughts and feelings. So somebody may not be right to me, may not behave the right way, situation may be extremely tough. I am the creator of my thoughts and feelings. This makes us Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar, self-reliant, emotionally independent. Independent, not dependent. And once we start practicing this equation and becoming Atmanirbhar, emotionally independent, then stress, anxiety, fear, criticism, comparison, jealousy, these will be not a part of our vocabulary. And of course, we wouldn't know what depression is because we become emotionally healthy. So the original sanskars and the wisdom of Bharat has the potential to make each soul emotionally healthy, emotionally fit, and thereby preventing all kinds of mental health issues, which is a crisis right now, not just in the country, but all over the globe. All over the globe, the world is looking for a solution. How do we prevent mental health issues? It is the Adi Sanskars of every soul which is there. Second is Sankalp se Siddhi, thoughts manifest. Again, something that we are not experimenting with. Whatever I want to be here as a person and whatever I want to achieve in what I do, it has to start from a Sankalp. It has to start from a very high vibrational divine thought. It has to start from a blessing that I create for myself. And then I have to repeat and revise that blessing every single day, which the world calls the language and the power of affirmations. But the original word is Sankalp se Siddhi. It manifests. This is our spiritual equation. So we take a Sankalp and then we revise it, reaffirm it repeatedly, many times in a day, and every single day. And very soon we shift to that higher vibrational energy. So even the greeting, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, a word that we all have used very often. At the Brahmakumaris, we greet each other saying Om Shanti. So the Om Shanti is not just a word, it's an affirmation. It's a sankalp which says, I am a peaceful being. Not I want peace, not I'm looking for peace, I seek peace. I am a peaceful being. And when we keep saying not just saying from here, but saying here, getting it emotionally coded here on the mind, repeating it many times a day with understanding, with experience, Om Shanti, I will shift from saying I am stressed, from experiencing stress, we will shift towards I am peace, I am bliss, I am love, I am happiness. So for this, we need the second spiritual equation, which is Sankalp se Siddhi. Thoughts manifest. And let's use our thoughts carefully, because our thoughts create an internal coding here, and that coding becomes our sanskars, and that sanskars comes out and becomes our reality, becomes a destiny. So that is our second equation which we need to use. Third equation, sanskar se sanskriti se sansar. Look at the sansar today, the world. Everybody is concerned. The world needs to change. And we have a whole list of what needs to change in the world, whether it's emotional health, mental health, physical health, relationships crumbling, environmental health. The United Nations this year has kept the theme, Only One Earth. It's only one Earth, and we're all concerned about the planet. We need to protect our resources. But if we keep taking care of the planet only outwardly, without taking care of our sanskars and emotions, it's incomplete. It's incomplete. The result that we want, we will not be able to manifest, because it is sanskar se sansar. It is sanskar se sansar. So the change will have to be created in the inner environment. Only then will we be able to radiate those vibrations to the planet, create a contented life, and therefore a simplistic, minimal living life, and thereby protect the resources of a planet. Without taking care here, we will not be able to take care of our outer world. It's incomplete. It will not happen. We will keep on putting efforts. We will not get the results, because we are not starting from the seed. This is the seed, and the rest is the tree of our life. We need to focus on the seed. And the most important thing, especially for children and youth, and of course all of us, is the content we consume today. The content we consume. If we want to change our sanskars, we will have to check the content we consume, because what we watch, what we read, what we listen is who we become. It's who we become. So in a world where we are so connected to content from all over the world, where we are consuming so much of content throughout the day, this mind is getting cluttered. The sanskars are getting influenced by all the content that we are consuming. Our language, our vocabulary, our belief systems, our thought processes, everything is getting influenced by the content we consume. So to have a university where the content that is being shared with the children is based on spiritual principles, it's going to create a change in the sanskar. But along with that, the children will also need to learn. It's not only what I learn in my course, but it's also what I consume throughout the day from all platforms of media is what's creating my personality. So content is equal to personality, and personality is equal to destiny. So unless we start taking care of what we watch, read, listen, we will not be able to create a destiny of our choice. So it's very important for every child to restrict content consumption and to be careful of the quality we consume. These are very simple spiritual equations, but this is something we all will live our life with and then share it with the world. Share it with the world, because that's where the solutions lie. Another very simple equation. Jaisa an, vaisa man, jaisa pani, vaisi vani, which means as is the food I eat, so is my mind, as is the water I drink, so are my words. Today, people say we are what we eat. It means my body is what I eat. And so then I only take care of the nutrients of the food that I am eating. Jaisa an, vaisa man. It is not jaisa an, vaisa tan. It is not your body is what you eat. It is your mind is what you eat. Your mind is what you eat. And we know this. We know this. Everybody in Bharat knows this. We know the power of food on the mind, but we need to live it. We need to live it. So we need to experiment with a life where we are eating a high vibrational diet, not just a high nutritional diet, but a high vibrational diet, experimenting with a plant-based diet cooked in high vibrational energy. High vibrational energy, which means in the university or at homes, in the kitchen, there should be high vibrational words playing in the kitchen. Our hymns, our bhajans, our puja, it should be playing in the kitchen so that every morsel in the kitchen is getting energized, just like it happens in the temple, in the gurdwara, in the masjid. All the food gets energized in the ashram, in the meditation center. Food is energized. It has a deep impact on the mind. Shifting from a culture which is getting very used to eating out, shifting from a culture which is getting used to ordering food. So it's not just a plant-based diet, but home-cooked, self-cooked in high vibrational diet. It will change the sanskars of the person eating. It will change the sanskars of the person eating. The water of the city has the vibrations of the city. If there's pain, stress, anxiety in the city, so it is in my food and water. Just before we eat, we were taught like we were children, that we were taught to take a pause. Take a pause before we eat. Connect to the divine and say those high energy words into our food and water. How many of us do that before every meal? How many of us do that before every meal? So to use that equation, Jaisa an, Vaisa man, I am what I eat, not my body is what I eat. I am what I eat. So we will experiment with a plant-based diet, home-cooked food, cooked with high vibrational energy in the kitchen, no screens while eating. So children will practice that. No screens while eating, no phone, no TV while eating. And fifth, just before eating, take a 10-second pause. Take a 10-second pause. Connect to the divine. Silence your mind and say those high energy words into your food and water, changing the energy of the food and water, energizing the food and water, and thereby energizing our mind and healing our body. Very, very simple equations, but these simple equations are our fundamental spiritual equations. So this is the Aadigyan of Bharat. This is the Aadigyan of Bharat. And this is Gyan which we all know, but now we're going to start living it. One is knowing and the other is implementing what we know. So spiritual principles, we all know, we've grown up with them, but to start living them, becoming an embodiment of them, and becoming an ambassador of that Aadigyan, becoming a sample and example for the world, radiating our vibrations to the world. Very soon, people from all over the world are going to come to study in Bharat. That is certain. Like it used to happen a few hundred years back, people came to study in the universities of Bharat. Today, a lot of children in Bharat say, oh, but I want to leave Bharat and go out and study. It's going to change very soon. It's going to change very soon. People from all over the world will want to come to Bharat to study because Bharat will teach not just science and maths of the outer world, but Bharat will teach how to take care of the inner world, which is a need by the entire world right now. So the whole platform of all of us being connected together is about bringing back these spiritual equations, living them, sharing them with the children, but also radiating them into the collective vibration of the world. Thank you so much. Shukriya. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Srimati BK.Shivani ma'am. It is so delightful to listen to you as always. We fall short of words to appreciate your work, your teachings, and your philosophy, which has impacted many at large. We have certainly learned a lot, and you have certainly awakened many of us here and elsewhere. I must sincerely thank and appreciate you for sparing your time and thoughts with us on this occasion of launch of Aadigyan. We sincerely express our deepest gratitude to Brahmakumaris for collaborating with SRMAP to offer courses on value education, holistic health, and spirituality, and many more. Thank you so much, ma'am, and Brahmakumaris on behalf of entire SRM family. Thank you, ma'am.